Much wisdom have I learned from my teachers. More have I learned from my friends, from my students, have I learned the most of all. Harbeini lamaditi merabotai, umechaverai yoter merabotai, umitalmidai, yoter mechulam, yoter mechulam. Turn it and turn it and turn it, turn it and turn it around. Everything is in it, everything is in it. Turn it and turn it around. Turn it and turn it and turn it. Turn it and turn it around. Everything is in it, everything is in it. Turn it and turn it and turn it around.
Chag Sameach. It's beautiful to see you out there, parents and graduates and confirmands and members of the Board of Trustees and people who came just to be here and celebrate. So tonight we count the 50th day of the Omer. And in ancient times, this was the barley harvest, thus the baskets, right? It's agricultural. That's how it all began. And here we have a really beautiful harvest. Small but mighty and beautiful and sweet. And so this evening is about celebrating a harvest of learning and commitment and community, a harvest of endings and new beginnings. And we have baskets that are filled not with barley but with rings of confirmation classes past. More on that to follow. And of course, Shavuot is connected always not only to the harvest, but to Matan Torah, to receiving Torah. So our confirmands will be reading from the Ten Commandments, and each of the statements that they offer will be a reflection on the commandment that they're reading. And on Shavuot, we also read the book of Ruth, a book of choosing Judaism, choosing to live a Jewish life. And that will be the theme of the reflections of our graduates. So if you have made it into a front pew here, that means that you have made a choice to affirm a Jewish journey, and it means your families have done so as well. And so it's my honor to call up Randy Friedland, representing our Religious School Committee, co-chair, and all of the parents of the graduates and confirmands to kindle the lights of the Chag. Parents.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotov tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Yom Tov.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
We continue with the Kiddush for Shavuot on page 122. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol am veromemanu mikol lashon v'kidishanu b'mitzvotav v'titen lanu Adonai Eloheinu be'ahava moedim lesimcha chagim uzmanim lesason et yom chag hashavuot hazeh Zman matan Toratenu mikra kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'achar tavotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim u'modeh kodshecha besimcha ufsason hilchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh Yisrael v'hazmanim.
So as we prepared for our ceremonies this evening, Rabbi Tara asked me to reflect on what it means to choose to be a Jew, because after all of our confirmands and graduates have made that choice, whether they meant to or not. It's funny because actually choosing to be a Jew is something I find myself thinking about quite often. I grew up in a home with two loving parents. My dad's family moved to New York from Israel, and my mom's parents weren't Jewish. My mom found Judaism, and she fell in love with the traditions and the religion, and she converted to Judaism as a young adult. My parents' Jewish identities are, unsurprisingly, the basis for my own Jewish identity. I grew up in a home where, though only one parent converted, both parents choose to be Jewish every single day. And even now, I feel the reverberations of those choices. I choose to live a Jewish life. I choose to be a Jew. I choose to dedicate my life to serving the Jewish community and to hopefully making the world a better place by living through Jewish values. But what does it actually mean to choose to be a Jew? At this season of Shavuot, which we call Zman Matan Toratenu, the time of the giving or the gifting of the Torah, I often think of a verse from the book of Exodus. Moses goes up Mount Sinai, and God tells Moses to tell the Israelites to obey God, to keep God's covenant faithfully, and to become a kingdom of priests, a holy nation. When the Israelites hear this from Moses, they say, Na'aseh v'nishma. We will do and we will hear. It's a puzzling response, and often we understand it to mean that the Israelites will eagerly do everything they're told. They agree to the conditions of their covenant with God. But I like to think of this phrase a little differently. For me, choosing to be a Jew means holding both of these components. Na'aseh, I will do, v'nishma, and I will listen. There are things I must do because I am a Jew, and there are ways I must listen. I must act compassionately with chesed, loving kindness, because I choose to be a Jew. I must stand up for those who are in need and strive to pursue justice, tzedek, because I am a Jew. I must hear every person around me, regardless of whether or not I agree with them, because I value the fact that each person is created, B'Tselem Elohim, in the image of God. I must listen for truth, emet, in everything that I hear. And because I choose to be a Jew, I must listen for the presence of God in the world around me. So when I hear the phrase Na'aseh v'nishma, I think about our ancestors receiving Torah so many generations ago. And I think about the blessing of standing on their shoulders, receiving Torah every single day. For me, choosing to be a Jew is choosing to be myself. My Jewish soul is wrapped up in my perpetual pursuit of God through living Jewishly. And at this Zman Matan Toratenu, this time of the receiving of the Torah, I choose to rejoice in Torah and in the luxury of living Jewishly.
Hi. First of all, Mazel Tov to the confirmation class and graduation class. I'm Rachel Barnahama. I don't think I know everyone in the room, but I'm the incoming assistant director of the religious school and the director of youth engagement, and it's really a pleasure to be here with you tonight. In just 5 days, I will be setting off on a fellowship to explore and learn from and about the Jewish community in Buenos Aires, Argentina. As I've been sharing this with friends, family, and classmates, people have stopped to ask me, Why am I going all the way to Argentina? Aren't there enough local Jewish communities you can visit here? What's so special about Buenos Aires? Well, I don't have the answers to these questions just yet. Something else has been crossing my mind as I prepare for this upcoming journey. When I think about why Judaism plays such a key role in my everyday life, I'm always drawn to thinking about the role I play in the greater Jewish people. I'm reminded that I'm a part of a community that spans worldwide, that the Jews across the globe are my extended family. I'm reminded that I'm guided by a moral compass that is rooted in history and tradition, dating back as far as Abraham. But most importantly, I'm reminded that I always have a home within the Jewish people wherever life takes me. There's a singer, Philip Phillips, from American Idol, who has a song called Home. The opening verse states, "Hold on to me as we go, as we roll down this unfamiliar road. And although this wave is stringing us along, just know you're not alone, because I'm going to make this place your home." Confirmands and graduates, as you begin this next chapter in your Jewish journey, always remember that you have a home not just here in Temple Beth-El, but amongst the Jewish people across the world.
We continue with the Baruch Hu on page 130. Please rise.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la.
We pray together on 132. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the season, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
You may be seated.
Hello, everyone. The verse I will chant later on this evening is the first of the 10 Commandments. I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me. Each of the commandments are pacts that are extremely personal, a commitment between each person and God. The Hebrew reflects this as it is written, cha, which translates to you in the singular. However, even as the commandments are personal, they are also extremely plural in their nature and communal. After all, the 10 Commandments were given to the community as a whole. A person could say that God brought his ancestors out of Egypt, but the truth is that God brought all of our ancestors out of Egypt. Jewish identity stems from our exile in Egypt. Thus, this first commandment, I am Adonai your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, is the glue of the Jewish faith and the Jewish people, and it is truly a mark of unification rather than separation. Together, we have been rescued by God out of the land of Egypt, and together we subscribe to the cause and the message of only one God. However, somewhere along these 3,000 years, there is division. We see Reform, Conservative, Ultra-Orthodox, Orthodox, Modern Orthodox, and there are protests sometimes, and protests in Israel that can turn violent when a black Ethiopian Jew can clash with Jewish Israeli police officers. And we also can see an Israeli Orthodox man who stabs a civilian at an LGBTQ parade in Jerusalem. If Adonai is our God, why do I see so much division in the Jewish faith today? Even here in Great Neck, there is intra-Judaic friction. I witnessed the shaming of homosexuality and the separation between sect and faction. Hatred can be rampant between other religions. Crusades of the modern day can breed hatred and separation. Outside of the confines of the Jewish world, outside of our home, that is Judaism, there will always, unfortunately, be some interreligious hatred. However, this is a foreign problem that must be dealt with next door. But first, we must look within ourselves, as a Jewish people, within our homes, our town. How can I, as a Jew, preach human unity between other religions if my own religion is divided in itself? Am I an anomaly? Is it rare that others seek the unity that is necessary as Jews, as human beings? But I refuse to be an anomaly. I need the anomaly of unity and acceptance and the desire for unity and acceptance to become a normality, because God has taken us out of Egypt and saved us from the house of bondage. We must lead ourselves out of Egypt. Although we as Jews may seem stranded and separated in the sands of disunity, those very sands that we were lost in Egypt, we must lead ourselves out of Egypt, for Adonai is our God, and we are one people. Thank you.
Tonight, the commandment I'll be chanting is, You shall not make yourself an idol, and you shall not bow down to them, nor serve them. In this world, we the people, the inhabitants of this great and diverse planet, are encouraged to fit into this one box called perfection. This box is a square, which is simple enough to crawl into, if you're a square. But what if you're a triangle, or a circle, or a pentagon? We're pressured to look a certain way, act a certain way, or else someone in our society might deem us not good enough. We're shown pictures and images of women and men whom we should look like idols that we should worship and aspire to be. But these idols are not people. They're digitally edited people to give us unrealistic expectations about how we should look. Children grow up seeing these unrealistic standards and expect to look like their celebrity crushes or idols. People, especially children, can be highly impressionable and should not have to think that they're less than because of unattainable benchmarks of beauty and success have been set by a segment of society. We should not worship or force others to follow these idols that are created for us in this world. We should instead celebrate ourselves. In the Torah, we're told to worship God. In Bereshit 1:27, it says, Vayivrach Elohim et ha'adam b'tzalmo b'tzelem Elohim barech oto zachar nekava bare otam, which translates to, God created man in his image. Man and woman, he created them. If we are to respect God, that means we must also respect ourselves. When we are shown images of people promoting their happiness with certain body shapes or materialistic lifestyles, it can be challenging to be content with what we have. People, especially teenagers, can be caught up in turning to the exact form that is shaking their confidence. We look to social media to show us a solution to our problems. Answers to our issues are often presented in challenges that are said to help us achieve perfection. One in particular, the A1 challenge, has people hold up 8 by 11 pieces of paper against their chest and if they can see their sides, that means they're not skinny enough. It can be a vicious cycle of trying to look like our idols, but never making that happen. We are told by our parents and friends to be ourselves, But how can we be ourselves when being someone else can sometimes seem so much better? If we truly internalize the commandments of God and live life in God's image, perhaps it will be easier not to succumb to the external pressures of society. It might be less challenging to celebrate ourselves, flaws and all, because no one's perfect. What we see on social media, on TV, and in the movies is often doctored images, and images that take staging to get just right. So how do we wind up loving ourselves in a society that tells us otherwise? For me, I create my own perfection box. My box isn't a square or a circle or a triangle or a pentagon. My box is a shape unique to me. In it is my own personal realistic goals on how to be my best self, whether it be not to procrastinate or being more open to change. My box has ideas that I will not force onto anyone else. I will use my box of goals to motivate me to live life to the fullest and be my perfect self.
We continue on page 134. Together, everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 136. Please rise.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto, Le'olam, Le'olam Vaed.
Please be seated as we continue with the Ve'ahavta on page 138.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות להם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיהם
Adonai Elohechem.
אמת.
The verses I will chant this evening say, I, Adonai, visit the sins of the parents upon the children to the third and fourth generation, of those who hate me, and showing mercy to the 1,000th generation, of those who love me and keep my commandments. What do we pass down from generation to generation? Very often we see that children, when they grow into adulthood, repeat their parents' behaviors, both the good and the bad. But according to my verse, the bad choices and their consequences will only last the third and fourth generation, while the effects of our good choices will last for 1,000 generations. In my family, I see the power of the good traditions being passed down from generation to generation. My dad grew up in South Africa and had Shabbat dinner every Friday night. And today, my family has chosen to continue this tradition of sharing Shabbat with my family. After a long week, we travel 45 minutes to see my cousins in Westchester. We sit together and chat about our week as we eat a beautifully prepared meal. I love seeing my family and simply hanging out with them. Not every family gets to see each other every week, so I cherish the time with them. This is a tradition I hope to practice when I'm older. Even as traditions are passed down, they also change over time. My father's Shabbat dinners in South Africa were, I'm sure, very different than the Shabbat dinners we have in Westchester. And I know that when I grow up, my Friday night dinners will be in their own way different than what I've experienced with my cousins today. For instance, when I'm older, I'm most likely not going to live an Orthodox life like my cousins, but seeing family on a regular basis is a Jewish value that is important to me, one that I hope to live out in my own life and to pass down. I want to keep my family connection strong. Just as I hope to stay connected to my family, I want to stay connected to the Jewish community wherever I may live. Here at Beth-El, I have enjoyed and found meaning in so many activities. For example, going on the midnight run. Packing up food for the homeless and organizing clothing before we travel to the city together makes me feel a part of the community and connected with everyone. I also remember having sleepovers at the temple with the whole youth group and hanging out together. A sense of community is a big part of what makes me feel connected to Judaism. However, I still have many questions about Judaism. Does God punish us when we commit a sin, or is there even a God? As I face these questions, I hope as I grow older to come to some conclusions. I think that by traveling to Israel, I can explore my Jewish identity more deeply. I have been there when I was younger, but now I can view Israel differently and view it in a mature perspective. To me, being Jewish is not about an unquestioned belief in God or even about going to synagogue every week. It is about living the Jewish values that are important to me, like family, community, and helping those in need. It is also about continuing to search and to learn so that I can figure out for myself the answers to my many unanswered questions. Thank you.
In order to prepare my statement for this evening, Rabbi Tara asked me to consider a serious issue that I face in my life. I took a lot of time to think about my most challenging issues, which included not having great grades, not having the most in-style clothing, and sometimes getting into fights with my friends. However, I cannot truly label these issues as real problems. Real problems are not having an opportunity to receive an education at all, not owning any clothing, and having social anxiety, so it's difficult to make friends in the first place. My personal issues are not worth presenting in front of my congregation. The real issue I face and that I see in my community is that our comfort and safety ultimately can lead us to a lack of empathy for others. The commandment that I will be chanting tonight is remember the Sabbath day and sanctify. 6 days you may labor and do all your work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath to Adonai your God. You shall not do any work, you, your son, your daughter, your male slave, your female slave, your animals, or the stranger who lives among you. I think that this commandment relates directly to empathy, because Shabbat forces us to realize that although we may have a higher privilege than our slaves or our animals, we must never use our power to make the lives of those who are less fortunate than us harder than it already is. We must have respect for our fellow human beings and be empathetic towards their troubles and give them time to rest and the human dignity. All of the 10 commandments were given shortly after our people were freed from Egypt. This reminder of how to treat our slaves on Shabbat shows us how easy it can be to forget what it's like to suffer as soon as you, yourself, are no longer suffering. But as Jews and as human beings, once we are brought to a safe place, we must not let our safety and power blind us of empathy and compassion towards others. Recently in my English class, we were asked to write about something political. I overheard a boy next to me say, "I want to write about how the recent Muslim ban will positively affect America." It shocked me completely to hear this. Here was a boy whose family came to America less than 50 years ago because they were discriminated against because of their religion, and now he was condoning our country's discrimination against others because of their religion. Now that this boy and his family are secure and comfortable, he seems not to be bothered by the fact that other, more vulnerable people are unsafe. Temple Beth-El has given me many experiences that have reminded me not to be blinded by my privilege. On the midnight run to New York City about a year ago, I was giving a man some coffee, and he asked me, "Why are you here? Why are you here when you could be out with your friends on a Saturday night?" He was shocked when I answered by saying that I wanted to help him and my community. We live in a world where it is an unusual occasion when people choose to exit their bubble in order to help others. It should be that giving to others and being compassionate is a daily occurrence. In my adult life, I hope to be an example of care, love, and respect in this world, especially towards those who are less powerful or less fortunate than myself. I believe these values will inspire me to continue finding my own unique path as a Jew. Thank you.
We'll continue on page 141. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird which cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field covered with snow. Hold fast to dreams. We turn to page 204 and we rise for the Amidah.
Adonai sifatai tiftachu fi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Chazdei Avot ve'imahot, U'mevii Geula livnei bneihem, Lema'an Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai Magen Abraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol ata rav lehoshia, Mohorid hatal, Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman ata lehachayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai mechayei hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Ukdoshim, ukdoshim, Bechol yom yehalelu chasala, Baruch atah Adonai, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh, Ha'el HaKadosh.
We continue privately with the Amidah through page 228. You may remain standing or be seated according to your custom, using either the prayers on the pages or those in your own heart.
Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Vegoali, Vegoali, Yihiyu leratzon imrefi. Vegion libi lefanecha, Adonai Tzuri, Adonai Tzuri, Vegoali, Vegoali.
Hi. As a confirmand, I feel I have yet to find my Jewish identity. I come to Beth-El often, I pray, I became a bat mitzvah, and now I am getting confirmed, but I still feel that I don't fully understand all that Judaism entails. I know that I am Jewish, but I don't believe in or follow all of the rules that come with the traditional Jewish identity. Jewish practices, like not eating bread on Passover, stem from the belief in a God. My hope is that when I grow older, my doubts about God's existence subside and my faith will increase. Maybe this will inspire me to experience Judaism as a whole. While I may never have perfect faith, strengthening my connection to God will help me in my search for answers to life's big questions like what comes after death, or how do you determine right from wrong, or is everything that happens fate or God's deliberate actions? We may never know the answers to these questions, but for now, more than a strong belief in God, I have the support of my congregation and my family to help me find myself in my religion. The commandment I will chant later is Kabed et aviecha ve'et imecha. Honor your father and your mother so that your days may be long upon the land which Adonai your God is giving you. To me, this is the most important of all the commandments. It teaches that family is the foundation of a world that keeps us safe. A stable society is based on families bound together with love. According to Torah, the reward for honoring one's parents is that your days may be long upon the land which Adonai your God is giving you. To me, this means that when your family comes together in love and unity, we live a life fulfilled, not necessarily with quantity, but quality of our days. When the mutual respect between parents and a child is broken, the foundation of our world can fall apart. It will be essential for me as I transition into my adult life to take the respect shared between my parents and me and to incorporate it into my own unique journey. My personal path will be different from my parents, as my children's journey will be different from my own. I hope to become a doctor, and I hope to start a family. I hope to travel, read more books, meet new people. I hope to become an inspiration to my family and others, and I hope to continue to discover what my Jewish identity means to me.
When asked to consider a challenge in my life, I immediately thought about the lack of acceptance in my high school and in my community, not only for our fellow Jews, but also for other human beings. In my school, there are many students who are not Jewish. Sometimes these non-Jewish students are stereotyped, looked down upon, and judged by other students. I find these attitudes disturbing, especially when they come from those who call themselves Jewish. I also see how certain Jews in my high school judge those who are in the LGBTQ community. Because of this, students who may have a different sexual orientation or gender identity are afraid to express who they are because of the terrible things they know will be said about them. I believe that as a Jew, we should treat people with respect, the way we would like to be treated ourselves. Two of our most important rabbis, Hillel and Akiva, say that the entire Torah is based on this commandment: love your neighbor as yourself. Additionally, the commandment to love the stranger, the person who is not like you, is repeated a total of 36 times throughout the Torah, more than any other commandment. I think God wants us to know that loving the stranger, not judging them, and accepting them for who they are is an essential part of Jewish life. These attitudes of accepting others and reaching out to them should be integrated into our daily lives. In small but significant ways, my family tries to live according to these values. My grandmother has a friend who has 2 autistic children and not a lot of family. Every year at Passover, we invite them to join us for our Seder and include them in our celebration as if they are family. This is not something I consider a chore, rather it is something I enjoy, because in this way I am helping someone and making them feel appreciated and accepted. Sometimes I struggle with acceptance within my own extended family. My mother is Jewish and my father is not. Some of my relatives who are Israeli and more traditional question my life choices and even my relationship with my father. This makes me feel distant from my extended Jewish family and their beliefs. However, when I joined Temple Beth-El this year, no one cared that I was from an interfaith home. Instead, you all have accepted me as I am and not as someone who is different or less of a Jew. This kind of acceptance makes me feel proud to be part of Temple Beth-El, and it inspires me as a Jew to keep reaching out to other people no matter who they are. The commandment I will soon be chanting is, you shall not covet your neighbor's house, you shall not covet your neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that is your neighbor's. This teaches us that acceptance should not only be our attitude towards others, but that we should accept ourselves as well. Not always wanting what other people have or wanting to be another person, but staying true to who we are and where we are in our lives. As I grow towards adulthood, I will try to live up to this commandment.
So now, you may not be able to see them, but we have nine rings here, and each ring is chosen from one of the 9 decades of Temple Beth-El's existence. And I'm going to ask that this Shalshelet HaKabbalah be held by members of our Board of Trustees. So if you came tonight as a member of the Board of Trustees, I would like you to come up right now, and we're going to place this in your hand. So, okay. Actually, I'm going to have you figure out how to do it. Can you pick it up and get it in front of you? Now, as the members of the Board of Trustees come up, I would like you to stand if you were a confirmand in years past. A confirmand in years past. And if you are standing, you will receive a special blessing that you are going to read to our confirmands. Confirmands, I want you to stand. Can we all move a little this way? Wow, lots of... And I need to get the other ring. This is always important. Okay. Alice. Okay. Now, there are some members of the Board of Trustees who are past confirmands. Can you raise your hand? Quite a number of them. Interesting correlation. Interesting correlation. And Allison is holding a ring that has all of the names of our confirmands in it. We had a beautiful experience last year of a confirmand holding a ring during a rehearsal and looking down and he saw his hand on his father's name. So we have a chain of tradition here. And I'm going to invite you, if you have a blessing, to read it to our beautiful confirmands over here. So I'll move the mic around, but you'll read it together. Okay, see if we can do it. 1, 2, 3, go.
Our sages teach that Jewish living and learning, Jewish being and striving, is passed from generation to generation. And a chain of tradition.
Jewish studies, and tonight by standing before your community, confirming class, you are choosing to be the next link in the chain of Jewish traditions. Like the leaders of our community, we hold this chain tonight.
May you remember that each of you, in your own way, is a leader, and that each of you is called to bring into the world your Torah, the teaching
of your innermost soul. May your Jewish journey be one of devotion and commitment. May your Judaism comfort and ground you when you are in need.
May your Judaism challenge and awaken you, should you become complacent. May your Judaism be forever a calling
to bring healing, justice, and righteousness to the world. May your Jewish journey be one of joy, and may you go from strength to strength. Amen.
Okay, so now let's connect the rings. A little magic trick here. And now we're going to gather these rings up into the hands of the confirmands. Or one in particular. Allison, why don't you take? Because I can't, because I'm holding a microphone. Beautiful. And I'm going to invite thank you very much, our Board of Trustee members and past confirmands to go back to your seats. But everyone can rise as we transition to our Torah service, which is on page... soon to find out. Come on up. We're going to put that in 2:30. Everybody rise as we go up. Get graduates and confirmands.
Ein kamocha va'Elohim Adonai ve'ein kema'asecha malachutecha malachut kol olamim umemshaltecha bechol dor v'ador Adonai melech Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai oz lamo yitein, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom, av harachamim heitiv avirtzonecha et Zion. Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, Tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, Ki v'cha levad batachnu, Hamelech el ram v'nisa adon olamim, Ki mitzion teitzei Torah, Ki mitzion teitzei Torah, udevar Adonai mi Yerushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, le'amo Yisrael, bigdushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Adonenu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadlul Adonai Tiyun Romema Shemo Yachdav. Lecha Adonai Hagedula v'Hagevura v'Hatiferet v'Hanetzach v'Haod Ki hol b'shamayim uvaretz Ki hol b'shamayim uvaretz Lecha Adonai hamamlacha v'amitnasei lechol lerosh על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים על התורה ועל העבודה ועל גמילות חסדים לא יישא גוי אל גוי חרב לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה לא יישא גוי אל גוי חרב לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה לא יישא גוי אל גוי חרב לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה לא יישא גוי אל גוי חרב לא ילמדו עוד מלחמה.
You may be seated.
And it's my honor now to call all of our confirmands to Torah. Achat, shtayim,
Baruch Adonai Haborach Le'olam Va'ed.
Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai
Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol
ha'amin v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. If you're feeling strong and if it's your choice to rise during the chanting of the Ten Commandments, many wish to do so, but so if you wish to rise now, do so. No judgment either way. Okay.
Just begin. Vayadaber Elohim et kol hadvarim ha'ele lemor Anochi Adonai Elohecha asher hotzetecha me'eretz Mitzrayim mibeit avadim lo yihye lecha Elohim acherim al penai.
Lo ta'aseh lecha fesel v'chol tmuna asher b'shamayim mima'al v'asher ba'aretz mitachat asher b'mayim mitachat la'aretz lo tishachaveh lachem ve'lo ta'avtem ki anochi Adonai Elohecha Elkanah poked avon avot al banim al shilishim ve'el riveim lisonai.
Ve'oseh chesed la'alafim la'ohavai u'loshomrei mitzvotai lo tisa et shem Adonai Elohecha lashav ki lo yanokeh Adonai et asher yitza et shemo lashav.
Zachor et Yom HaShabbat lekadsho sheshet yamim ta'avod vasita kol melachtecha vayom hashvi'i Shabbat l'Adonai Elohecha lo ta'aseh kol melacha ata uminha uvidecha avdecha va'amatecha vehemtecha v'gercha asher bisharecha.
Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim vet haaretz et hayam vet kol asher bam vayanach bayom hashvi'i al kain berach Adonai et yom hashabbat vayikadshehu kavet et avicha ve'et imecha lema'an yariku yamecha al ha'adama asher Adonai Elohecha noten lach lo tirtzach, lo tinaf, lo tignov, lo ta'aneh, v'reyacha eid shaker.
Lo tachmod beit re'echa, lo tachmod eshet re'echa, ve'avdo, ve'amato, ve'shoro, ve'chamoro, ve'chol asher l're'echa.
And for the honor of Hagba, I call up someone brave enough to be the only boy in the confirmation class. That takes guns. All right. So, and for our Galila.
Ersa Moshe לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. יאי די 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 יאי די די יאי די די יאי די 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 יאי די 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 יאי די 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 יאי די די יאי די די יאי די 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 יאי די 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 Yai dai 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 Yai dai 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 Yai dai dai yai dai dai Yai dai 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 Yai dai 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 Yai dai 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 Yai dai dai yai dai dai Yai dai 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 Yai dai 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 Yai dai 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 dai.
Better late than never. 1, 2, 3. Baruch
atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'nachyeinu Eloheinu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Wow. All right. Wow. Beautiful up to now. Adak Shav, as they say. Mazal Tov to you confirmands. To you too, Tara. It's been a beautiful journey so far. Mount Sinai, which is tonight, I'm thinking, I just want to share one thought about Mount Sinai, which is that we know that the experience of being at Mount Sinai for the Jews was an experience of great exhilaration and eagerness and awe. It's amazing. Wow. And also an experience of abject fear. I want to go up. I want to go up. I want to get out. I want to go up. And it's also really scary. In fact, the Israelites say, we don't want to have to be the one to do it. I don't know if you four precious seniors feel the extremes quite that way, but in our conversations together, there's been a lot of moments where we feel the joy, the excitement, the enthusiasm, the blessing, the liberation, and also like, ooh, wow, what's it going to be like? Oh my gosh, I'm leaving. It's, all right, I hear you, Carly. I hear you. So, in a way, life, that's the two truths. Those are two pillars of life, the great exhilaration and excitement of freedom, and also the fear of having to do something new and to climb a new hill, a new mountain. As Tara said early, right when the service began, the tradition has it that we read the book of Ruth right now on this Chag of Shavuot. And Ruth is sort of the paradigm of someone who chooses Judaism against great odds for so many reasons, profound reasons. She shouldn't have, but she did. And so, as Tara described, and it was really her idea to frame it this way, the question that we've charged you all with is, like Ruth, who made the choice, how is your moving forward in life, Leanne and Julia and Carly and Jess, how are you going to make the choice to be Jewish as you move forward? Along with Izzy, who's not here, she unfortunately is feeling really, she's not well this evening. The five of us have had a really, for me, a very precious journey. It's been such a privilege and a pleasure and joy for me to be a part of your lives and your journeys. In a very wonderful and special way, I feel like I've come to know each of you in a really meaningful way, and I know that for me, this experience has been profound. So, I want to make one other observation before I invite Jessica, you up first, which is that Jessica, you and Julia and Leanne, it was great because you guys have been through this confirmation moment together a couple years ago. Carly, you and I have something in common because I never had that experience of confirmation, and you didn't either. But both of us, in our own ways, have kind of chosen to go deeper and higher in our Jewish lives post-confirmation. So, with that, dear Jessica, with your mom and family here, please come on up and share your reflection.
When posed with the question, how will I choose to be Jewish, I was a bit stumped. Tuesday nights had become my routine at Hebrew High, and each of the past nearly 10 summers I have returned to URJ Eisner Camp. Being Jewish was something I just did and never really thought about as being a choice, but that is all about to change. Next year, I will be attending Indiana University, which I'm sure many of you know our Vice President Mike Pence is from. Yes, there is a strong and large Jewish population within IU, but there is an even larger and more diverse group of non-Jews. Now in my life, I know that I will need to make the conscious effort to not lose sight of all the learning and growing I've done Jewishly within these temple walls and the bounds of my sleepaway camp. I will no longer have Tuesday nights with JTC, and after the summer, I don't know if I will be returning to Eisner. So now it is up to me to really decide how I will choose to be Jewish. The answer doesn't seem clear-cut, but when discussing with Rabbi Meir, we found something interesting. He asked me to describe some of my most memorable experiences to him. Many thoughts rushed to my head. As many of you know, I attended Nifty EIE High School in Israel the spring of my sophomore year. Instantly, the memories of my Women of the Wall experience rushed back. Through my 4 months abroad, I had stood in the places where history had happened, but I was actually standing in a place where history was happening, as the first full-size Torah was carried into the women's side of the Western Wall, surrounded by many loud, proud, and Jewish women, all one in that moment. Another memory that flooded back was that of opening ceremony at Eisner, a place where I've spent nearly 10 summers, as the oldest unit of campers forms a human fence around the entire camp and its Torahs in the outdoor sanctuary as we sang, danced to welcome in the new summer. A group of nearly 1,000 Jews and some non-Jews all together, loud and proud. As I described these experiences and others to him, he discovered a large common thread that I never really thought about. Each of the most meaningful Jewish experiences I had had in my life had been in large settings.
As we began to discuss further, Rabbi Meir shared a blessing with me that is to be recited when within a large group of Jews. Blessed is he who is wise in secrets, for as no two faces are exactly alike, so too no two minds are exactly alike. I interpreted this as the following. Just as no two people look the same, no two people are the same within. Every person's life as they go through are different, and different trying experiences occur to each one, none of which you can see by looking at someone's face. Individually, we choose what we do, and we don't share what certain things with whom. This is an extremely relevant and fitting blessing not only today, but within my life moving forward. Today is Shavuot, the day the Jewish people received the Torah at Mount Sinai in one large group. This fall, I will go on to join Indiana University's class of 2021, an even larger and more diverse group, with the entire university totaling nearly 50,000 students. It is easy to feel scared and lost entering into the unknown, so Rabbi Meir suggested to print out the blessing on a small piece of paper and keep it somewhere that I'll always have access to, so that whenever I need a little slice of my Jewish home or just feeling like lost, I'd have it right in my pocket or phone case, so I've chosen to do so. As I move on to the next stages of my life, I will have the memories of Temple Beth-El, JTC, Israel, and Eisner to guide me through and remind me why I chose to be Jewish all these years and will continue to choose to be. Thank you.
Hello. So, when I was younger, being Jewish was nothing more than being dragged to Hebrew school, not being allowed to eat lobster at Eliza Kopchak's house, and going to my... I'm not even kidding. And going to Granny's house for Shabbat dinner. So, it was a burden that my parents forced on me. As part of my bat mitzvah project, I sat down with my grandpa Avraham and listened as he told me his story. Shortly after his own bar mitzvah, his village was taken by Nazis, and he was eventually taken to Auschwitz. He watched his mom and sisters burn in smokestacks, and in the Nazis' eyes, he became nothing more than a number tattooed on his arm. Each day, between the ages of 13 and about 17, he wondered if he was going to live to see tomorrow. Today, at 86 years old, Avraham resides in Sun Harbor Manor, a nursing home in Roslyn Heights, and he proudly calls himself Jewish. As I watch Avraham today wear a yarmulke and eat traditional Jewish foods like matzo ball soup and brisket, I have slowly realized that being Jewish comes with great pride. The weight I bear on my shoulders is not a burden. The weight is the responsibility to love, give back to my community, eat delicious Jewish foods constantly, and to never forget the innocent people who were the victims of the Holocaust. In less than 1 month, I'm going to Israel to play beach volleyball in the Maccabee Games. If you don't know about the Maccabee Games, they're the third largest sporting event in the world, designed for over 11,000 Jews to come together and celebrate our culture through athletics. Last summer, my best friend and I were spontaneously deciding to try out for the games. When we eventually found out we were going to represent America as a team, we were ecstatic. We are still so honored to meet Jewish people from all around the world and learn about the ways they incorporate Judaism into their own lives. It is amazing how people from all around the world are uniting because of our same beliefs. Although I am not clear right now on how I will make Judaism an essential part of my life in the future, I know that I'll always try to find ways to incorporate it, whether it will be at the Hillel or with my family. I am confident that in time I will find wonderful ways for me to be deeply caring and an engaged Jewish adult. Thank you, Mommy and Daddy, for tolerating my temper tantrums on the way to Hebrew school, arranging carpools, and teaching me the importance of Abraham's experience. Thank you, Rabbi Meir and Rabbi Tara, for being my role models and guiding my Jewish journey. The community here at Temple Beth-El has given me the support to grow and has created a pathway towards a wholesome life that I intend to follow. Good. Yeah.
Okay. Carly, come on up.
Imagine if every individual's learning abruptly stopped at age 13. As human beings, we would be lost and inept at achieving the most basic of tasks simply because of never knowing. In many Jewish communities like ours, it has become custom for many of my peers to precipitously stop their learning about the integral role Judaism can play in one's life as soon as they have successfully completed their bar bat mitzvah at age 13. I've come to realize after continuing my own Jewish education that the knowledge I've learned has always been knocking on my doorstep. All I needed to do was hear the knock and open the door. What does it mean to be Jewish? To be honest, I'm not really sure. My first instinct is to classify being Jewish as what most people would probably think: rituals and tradition. Keeping kosher, Shabbat, daily prayer, to name a few. As I sat on a green chair at the circular wooden table in Rabbi Meir's office, I expressed my uneducated view of what I believed qualified as being Jewish. But at the end of our conversation, I had a radically different outlook. Ivdu at Hashem b'simcha, Rabbi Meir said to me, to serve God with joy. This is the truest meaning of fulfilling what it means to be a Jew. It starts and ends with you, based off solely how you choose to live and your choices. Being Jewish means being happy, completing the quest of spreading joy upon others. But finding happiness is something that starts within you. It is not something as easy as saying, I'm so happy right now. Happiness is the genuine feeling of one gets when they know things are right. They cannot stop smiling, and they never want to let the moment go. When you're happy, everything falls into place and you're feeling present. You're aware of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. You're your most Jewish. I questioned Rabbi Meir's rationale and wondered, could it be this simple? Is this really the truth? Being happy is all it takes to be as most Jewish as you can be? Instantly, my mind flashed back to a conversation I had with a friend a few weeks prior. We were at his house, and as we were going down the wooden stairs to the kitchen, we were debating the differences in our ways of being Jewish. I'm not as Jewish as you. I don't observe Shabbat, I don't do Havdalah, and I'm not kosher in any sense. I don't have that kind of dedication, I exclaimed through laughter. He stopped me right then and there. Carly, you're just as Jewish as me. You're not less Jewish because you aren't observant. You're just as Jewish, but in a different way. I am? Yes, you are, he replied to my surprise. From this simple conversation, I realized something that became clearer in my conversation with Rabbi Meir. Just because you aren't observant, you are just as much Jewish as someone who is observant. That doesn't define how Jewish you are or not. How Jewish you are is defined by the lens through which you look at the world. How do you seek and cope with your thoughts, feelings, and emotions? What perspective do you see the world through? Picture a cloudy, stormy, and dreary day. You see the leaves on the trees drooping from the weight of water droplets, their backs arched over with the pain of the weather. You hear screeching of tires on wet roads and dirty puddles splashing. You feel cold rain against your cheeks and wind nipping at your nose. You feel miserable, and your body longs to stay inside under a blanket. Picture the same place, except with clear blue skies and the sun radiating warmth onto your arms like a hug. How do you feel now? Has your mood improved? You see the trees happily dancing in sunlight and flowers buzzing with bees. You hear songs of birds and cries of children laughing nearby. You feel dew from the grass brushing your ankles, teasing your bare feet. Do you feel the same as you did before? You're in the same place, but yet looking through another perspective. You feel 1,000 times better from this happier lens, but it is still possible to be happy, as in the first circumstance. You just have to choose to be. The perspective through which a person looks to life dictates the interplay between happiness and living. Perspective dictates thoughts, which evoke feelings which inspire choices, and happiness is a choice. A conscious decision each and every individual makes every day is to be happy. Yes, it isn't easy or simple, and it takes time, effort, self-awareness, and reflection. But doing anything great is never easy, otherwise everyone in the world would be great. There are extremely close ties between being happy and being present, so by making an effort to be happy or present will catalyze the other to occur. In order for one to be truly happy, they must let the things that stress them fall away for a little while so that they can focus and feel the true joy coming from a particular circumstance untainted by other aspects of life. Every time we make that choice, we live up to Jewish ideals, and by making a choice, contributing to feeling or spreading happiness is how to be the best Jew that you can be. As each individual Jew, we must find that one Jewish spark and feel inspired to set afire the world with compassion, kindness, and goodness. By making it a priority to find happiness, we are becoming as Jewish as we can possibly be. I'd like to extend a special thank you to both my family and Rabbi Meir. Thank you. usually Prager Hessel. I go to Temple Beth-El. So I didn't know I was going last, so instead of briefing you on the question, I'll remind you. Rabbi Meir asked us, what does being a Jew mean to you? And that's an enormous question, so thank you. So when considering this topic, I came to realize that my idea of Judaism grew largely out of growing up in a Prager Hessel household, and it also happened to grow in tandem with my idea of God. So I've been going to Hebrew school since I was very little. I did the preschool program with Maura Judy in the trailers. I've been here forever. But way back in mid-elementary school, we started learning about God through Torah stories and holidays in our classes. And so we learned that God was everywhere, that God had created the earth, that there was one God, and that God spoke to us through angels, prophets, and miracles, like your basic stuff. 7-year-old me was very confused, and I very clearly remember thinking I remember not buying into the whole God thing. I didn't get it. I wasn't into it. I thought to myself, God isn't some gray-bearded man in the sky. God is my parents. They know everything. They're merciful. Even when I eat the last of my mother's peach tart, she forgives me eventually. And there's no problem of mine that they can't solve. And they created me. So I was skeptical. As time went on, I lost interest in the whole God thing. I was in middle school. I was cooler now. I went to Hebrew school because my friends went, because we watched Mean Girls in class, and because I wanted to have my bat mitzvah in a castle. I didn't realize until recently just how formative those friendships and those classes were to my current Jewish community and identity. For many years, it was convenient for me to be vague in conversations about faith, choosing not to think more deeply about my own ideals, but instead to find a laugh button in my group that I was talking about faith, about matzo ball soup or Fiddler on the Roof, and about how my grandmother's matzo ball soup is better than your grandmother's matzo ball soup, and just keep pushing it every single time I was expected to talk, like, ha ha, I'm Jewish. It was not until my last summer of sleepaway camp, a concept that dominated both of my parents' childhood summers, that I came to appreciate Judaism as a religion and as a community. My increased involvement in Temple Beth-El, sparked by an increased interest in Eisner Camp, earned me a spot on Project Understanding, an interfaith trip to Israel during junior year. Meeting such observant Catholics on that trip made me suddenly jealous. Now, I believe, and I have believed for some time, that religion is irrational, that in order to truly believe, one must take this leap of faith. And I was envious that these Catholics had made it, and I resented that I could not take such a big leap so unapologetically. The ability of these mere teenagers to have direction, to feel so strongly towards the principles their faith had given them, to guide their way on whatever path they took in life was admirable, and I wanted it. I thought that the answer was to be more involved in JTC, to do more midnight runs, become even more pretentious with my even more extensive knowledge of the Bible, etc. But it was not until after many talks with Rabbi Meir, much introspection, and many angsty teenage drives in the car with Kanye blasting, that I realized that I never lacked these guiding principles at all. I had learned them from my community, whether it be my parents, my temple, my camp, or the very physical place of Great Neck. Certain values had been instilled in me by those around me. They were not preached every week necessarily. They were instead exuded by my religion and its followers. Along the way, I had learned that I should live below my means, to be humble, and to be loyal to those that were loyal to me. I had learned to ask questions, to think critically, and to always consider the source. As we heard from our confirmands, this week's Torah portion is about Ruth, the first person who chose to be a Jew, and better known as the first convert. Through all of I'm a teenager struggling to find myself, or whatever that means, crises, I don't think I have yet chosen to be a Jew. Judaism is innately infused with tradition. It's the only way our religion has survived. If our ancestors did not pass their values from generation to generation, Judaism would not be one of the only cultures to be shared across all continents. We would not have survived centuries of coexistence, let alone centuries of persecution as we have, if we did not choose to continue the faith. I believe that I will not choose to become a Jew until I have left a legacy, until I have left a place and a community I care so much about, much better than I found it. After all, the back of my alumni card at Eisner tells me to do as much as I can in the time that I have, in the place that I am, and to inspire others to join me in this holy work. I desperately want to leave a legacy. Ever since the end of my freshman year, I wanted to win an award at school that gets my name on a plaque in the North Hallway. It didn't matter which award. I could do anything. I could win the lacrosse award. I've never played lacrosse.
I just wanted some girl in 20 years to read the names on the wall when she told her teacher she was going to the bathroom and read the Julia Prager Hessel 2017 and wonder who I was and how I had made North a better place. I've learned from my parents that in the big picture, the most extreme form of a legacy you can leave on this earth is a child. After all, I see myself becoming more and more like my mother every single day. And yes, that's right, I love it. I want to physically do my part in continuing the Jewish religion. I want to raise a child to be better than myself. I want to leave a part of myself on this earth when I'm gone. I know I'm 17. I don't plan on having a child until much later. Please don't worry about me. It's okay. When I was studying for my bar mitzvah, Rabbi Marcus taught me that according to B'Tselem Elohim, there is the image of God inside of us. I see God inside my parents. I see it inside ideas. I see it inside any person or thing who has inspired someone else, who has created something within another person. I, too, want to make the choice to embody B'Tselem Elohim. I, too, want to make the choice to be a Jew. For that, I'd like to thank my own parents. All these years later, I maintain that in some ways you are my God. You are literally divine. Thank you for instilling Jewish values, human values, in me from such a young age. Thank you for laying a strong foundation of tradition in me, but still giving me the freedom to find my own Jewish path. Thank you, Daddy, for showing me what it means to have a strong moral compass and for setting unrealistically high expectations for what I should look for in a nice Jewish husband one day. Thank you, Mama, for showing me by example how to be unapologetically myself and for making me proud to be a Jewish woman, proud to be a Prager. Our girl Hillary Rodham Clinton once said, our girl, that her daughter's Jewish, her son-in-law's Jewish, by the way, whatever. She once said that it takes a village to raise a child. And I want to further thank you for enrolling me in Temple Beth-El from such a young age. Thank you for allowing me to be partially raised in a place that fosters a blend of traditions and natural skepticism, faith and natural skepticism. A place whose people molded my Jewish perspective and the lens through which I see the world without me even realizing it. A place that gave me enormous opportunities to grow into myself more or less as a Jew and as a person. It is so easy to underestimate the comfort of a sense of place, to see familiar faces walk familiar halls. Cantor Vlad's hair is iconic. Rabbi Mulbaum's laugh is contagious, and Rabbi Marcus's speech are inspiring at the very least. Rachel's drive is admirable. Rabbi Meir's talks are truly enlightening, and Rabbi Tara's mere presence makes you feel loved like no other. Tali's classes are unforgettable. Mr. Whitman's high fives are timeless. Amanda's hugs are priceless. And the fully stocked canteen closet is consistent as anything. Thank you to Temple Beth-El, my parents, and the class of 2017. I am forever grateful.
So I'd like to have all the graduates come on up on the bima, and I would like their parents to join me right here. So stand up there at the top of the stairs and face. So you have not seen this blessing before, but it's one that you are going to offer to your... You can pass this around. I'll move that. On your mark, get set, bless.
Holy One of blessing, Master of all things, who is present in every chapter and every season of life, we offer this prayer to our daughters tonight.
May you enter this new stage of life with joy and with a thirst for knowledge. May you embrace your new freedom with gratitude and humility, self-respect and strength, making the choices that will keep you safe in body and in spirit.
Over the next 4 years, be sure to make the most of each and every opportunity that comes your way.
Have the courage to question yourself and the world around you, the courage to embrace challenges, to fail, to succeed, to grow. May your learning kindle a sense of wonder for this world and instill within you confidence in your own unique and precious gifts. In a moment, you will open the doors of the ark, which holds the teachings of our people. We know that we, as parents, must have the courage to open the doors of our home and let you go. Just as Torah will always be there for you, with its teachings of goodness and truth, we, your parents, pray that you will take the lessons from childhood with you, and even as you spread your wings to fly. Know our love travels with you.
Wherever your journey may take you, go forth and blessing.
And now we are going to open the ark. Everyone rise, and confirmands join our graduates.
Lechi lach, to a land that I will show you. Lech lecha, to a place you do not know. Lechi lach, on your journey I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi lach. Lechi lach, and I shall make your name great. Lech lecha, and all shall praise your name. Lechi lach, to the place that I will show you. L'simchat hayim, l'simchat hayim, l'simchat hayim, lechi lach. Lechi lach, to a land that I will show you. Lech lecha, to a place you do not know. Lechi lach, on your journey I will bless you, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi lach. Mi ha'ish hechafetz chayim, ohev yamim lirotov, netzor leshon chameira, unfatecha midaber mirma, sur merav asetov, barke shalom verotfehu. Mi ha'ish hechafetz hayim, ohev yamim lirotov. Mi ha'ish hechafetz hayim, ohev yamim lirotov. Netzor leshon chameira, unfatecha midaber mirma, sur merav מעשה טוב, בא כשלום ורודפהו, בי האיש החפץ חיים, אוהב ימים לראות טוב. Much wisdom have I learned from my teachers. More have I learned from my friends, from my students, have I learned the most of all. הרבה למדתי מרבותיי, ומחבריי יותר מרבותיי, ומתלמידיי יותר מכולם, יותר מכולם. Turn it and turn it and turn it, turn it and turn it around. Everything is in it, everything is in it. Turn it and turn it around. Turn it and turn it and turn it. Turn it and turn it around. Everything is in it, everything is in it. Turn it and turn it and turn it around. Much wisdom have I learned from my teachers. More have I learned from my friends, from my students, have I learned the most of all. הרבני למדתי מרבותיי, ומחבריי יותר מרבותיי, ומתלמידיי יותר מכולם. יברכך אדוני וישמרך. יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך. יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום. on page 322. Please remain standing. Page 322. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 327. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Whew, you may be seated. We invite our confirmands and graduates to get their gifts. You have books waiting for you in bags labeled with your name. Wonderful books.
Just so everybody knows, Julia Prager Hessel's name is on every temple bulletin for the year of 2017. So she got something, just so you know.
If anyone has a name they would like to mention for Kaddish, please say the name as I scan the room, rise and remain standing. Names for Kaddish. If it's your custom to rise for the mourner's Kaddish, please do so now. We're on 334. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabba, bi'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chaye d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'yimru, amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevarach le'elam ulonmei almaya, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמה ויאמרו אמן יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ויאמרו אמן עושה שלום במרומיו Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, healing to the human heart. We sing one last time. Amen. You may be seated. So a few thank yous. We have a scrumptious oneg awaiting us. Desserts by Ronit Pearl and Debbie Sutton and Linda Diamond and Ina Pakhtar and Dana Sobiecki. And also want to really thank Jordana Levine, who made sure that our confirmation and graduation families had a beautiful dinner beforehand, and just to make it Hamish and connective. And thank you so much for making that happen. And for all of you who are not parents who came, I really can't tell you how much it means. It just gives a community to hold. So thank you for showing up. And of course to our parents who made this possible. And to Shai for your music. So we are now going to rise and process out in the opposite way that you came in. Let's rise. And we'll meet you down at the Oneg, and we'll be able to see a beautiful montage about our seniors. And one audible confirmands and seniors, after you process out and everyone's out, you need to come back in for a quick picture. Okay.
Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, Yelanu. Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, mazel tov, siman tov, Yelanu, 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 Ulachol Yisrael, Yelanu, Yelanu, Ulachol Yisrael, Yelanu, Yelanu, Ulachol Yisrael, Yelanu, Yelanu, Ulachol Yisrael.